back to Hideaway Homestead. I'm going to cook a dessert for us tonight that harkens back to happy memories of my childhood. They used to sell a mix, a cake mix, I guess you would call it, called Snack and Cake. And my mom would buy that for our house. And we loved the flavor of it. And then I don't think it's available anymore. But this cake recipe is so versatile for cooking from your stored food because it does not require milk or butter or eggs. So what kind of a cake, can you do with that, with all those missing ingredients that maybe you don't have in your storage, your food preps? So this recipe, it not only is versatile for cooking from your preps, but it also very tasty, and it's just a fun recipe. It also has variations to it. The one I'm cooking tonight is a chocolate chip snack cake, but it also comes, the main recipe on my little old paper here is for a chocolate cake. And then you have double chocolate, where you have a chocolate cake with chocolate chips. There's a maple nut variation and an applesauce cake. Now, we've made the applesauce cake before and really liked it. It's more of a spice cake kind of a flavor. And so if you're not into chocolate today, and maybe this time of year you're thinking a spice cake sounds better, that might be what you want to do from that variation. So, real easy ingredients right out of our pantry here. So I already measured them, so you don't have to watch me do it. Here is a 1 cup measure of flour, regular all-purpose flour, and then 2/3 more of all-purpose flour. And do you notice I have so many variations of measuring spoons? I do have several. Don't worry about it. I do have several full sets. I mean, I have sets and sets of measuring cups and measuring spoons, but it just seemed easier tonight to have everything ready in a very odd assortment. This measuring cup reminds me of my mom's house growing up, and also my grandma had these kind of tin cups. I just think they're so cool and old-timey looking. That's 1 cup of packed brown sugar. You smash it in there. Then I need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Make sure it's soda, not powder. Looks like I'm losing that. And then for this option, we are adding 1/3 cup of walnuts. Any kind of nut will do, but walnuts seem to go well with chocolate and chocolate chips to me. So, plus I think they're a little bit less expensive than pecans. But you can't go wrong with pecans in my mind either. So I'm just mixing these dry ingredients together and then spreading them on the table, whether it's required or not. Then I'm going to add 1 cup of water, pre-measured, 1/3 cup of oil, and I think that might be canola oil. I don't remember whether canola oil is the good oil this year or if there's another oil that's better, but that happens to be what we had. And here's your secret ingredient, a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, I think what happens in here chemically to take the place of your egg is that this vanilla mixes with the baking soda, and that's what causes it to rise up and to make a nice cake texture. So I'm going to stir this together. It says to cook it in an 8-inch square ungreased pan. So this is my ungreased pan, and I will drop these in there. Just a very runny kind of a cake mix there with all that whole cup of water and 1/3 cup of oil. Makes for a pretty runny mixture. The recipe says to use mini chocolate chips, 1/3 a cup, but I found that what I have here from the pantry here are regular sized chips, and I think it's going to work out just fine. Oh, there's some stuck in here. Gotta get every little bit. And then this is my secret variation. I like to add some brown sugar to the top. And I also like the flavor of brown sugar. Hopefully this will stay on the top, sort of like a dusting of brown sugar, rather than sink in. But we'll see what happens. If it sinks in, then we just have extra sugar. And we're going to bake this for a very long time. Believe it or not, for this 8-inch container, we're going to cook it for 35 to 40 minutes at 350. So there you go. I will set my timer because we're going to get busy. And I will forget. We'll check it at 35 and see what happens. So we'll come back, show you what this looks like. Wish we had some vanilla ice cream to go with it, but oh well, if we're cooking from our pantry, we're not going to have vanilla ice cream in our pantry anyway. So we'll see how this turns out. Well, we've waited as long as we can. We've been smelling this yummy smelling snack cake, and now it's time. Hopefully it's cooled off enough that we can get it out of the pan and get it onto a plate and taste it. So here we go. Looks like the brown sugar on the top, some of it stayed like sugar and some of it sort of made almost like a little crust on the top, which doesn't sound like a bad thing to me. What do you think, Kevin? How does that look? Got the chocolate chips melting in there, nice and gooey. That piece broke, but I'll tell you what, I'll sacrifice. I will eat the broken piece, okay? That's how my goodness, looks like I got about 3 other people's pieces too. Made a mess. So, shall I be the brave one? They always say it tastes good, even if it's awful on these videos. So, we'll see if I like it. I like it. Has a nice texture to it, and it's fun because we don't have any eggs, no milk, no butter, stuff just off of our pantry. I'm talking with my mouth full. Alrighty. Thanks for joining us today. Give us your ideas. Let us know which variety you think you would like to eat best out of the applesauce or the chocolate or the maple something. Anyway, this is the chocolate chip. Till next time, thanks for joining us on Hideaway Homestead.